Today on the Hopefulist, we are going back to the basics, the true key to happiness, what is going to cost you more soon, and how about that fall wardrobe?
Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is day 4 of Gotta Get On Ellen. Ellen, are you listening? It is Monday, September 16th, 2019. Running a little late today, a little behind schedule. It is all because of the Eagles. I blame the NFL for these night games. It's not the Eagles' fault. They don't pick their schedule. However, it is the Eagles' fault that I had to stay up and watch the entire game. I would have done it anyway, I'm sure. But if they would have had a huge lead and blew them out right from the get-go, I probably could have, been a little comfortable and gone to bed. But no, it was very close the entire time. We pull up, go ahead. Just a little time left in the game, and we lost. We lost it. We lost a lot of players last night, too. Holy moly. All of our wide receivers were out of the game. Like, just about every one of them. Oh, my goodness. So, not a great day in football. The Giants lost. They are now 0-2. Not looking good for the Giants. I think they play Tampa Bay next week. If they do not win next week, it just may be the end of the season, which sucks so much because it's just not fun. You look forward to football. It's such a short season compared to other sports. Speaking of which, preseason hockey starting already? Preseason hockey? Yeah, it's here. But football, you don't get nearly as many games in football as you do in other sports. Once a week. The season is shorter than most. And, you want to enjoy it. And it's not like you're not going to watch the games. You're not going to not follow your team even when they suck, because this is what we do. We're fans. But it sure is a lot more fun when you have some hope, right? So I'm not that concerned about the Eagles. We are playing the Lions, I believe, next week. So we'll be all right. I have hope. I have faith. I have confidence. I've got it all going on. So, over the weekend, we had a really fun weekend. Went out with some girls, some of my friends. On Friday, we went to see an old band of mine. An old band that I used to go see all the time. I was Miss Groupie back in the day. And I saw an old friend that I hadn't seen in a really long time. So we got all caught up. And then some of my regular gal friends showed up, and we were all hanging. It was so much fun. So that's always a good time. And then Saturday we had our 3rd annual neighbor barbecue. Joe and I started hosting this 30 years ago, hence the 3rd annual. So we invite some of our neighbors across the street, across the lagoon, on either side of us. And, Joe cooks up a storm. This year we had ribs and chicken. And Joe made his famous mac and cheese. I made my cornbread casserole, which I'm sure that you have heard me talk about before. I just discovered this last Thanksgiving, and I've been making it like a maniac ever since because it's so delicious. Now, I'll tell you, this is one of the reasons why I don't cook. I did the shopping for this event, for this week's list of food that we need. And when I was purchasing the ingredients for the cornbread casserole, you need 1 can of regular corn niblets and 1 can of creamed corn. Fairly simple, right? You would think. Guess who didn't get the proper ingredients? That's right, me. So Everybody's here already, hanging outside, got some appetizers going. Everybody's got a drink. Figure we'll have dinner in about an hour. Let everybody kind of munch on the appetizers a little bit, do a little bit of, chatting and catching up and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm preparing my cornbread casserole. And lo and behold, guess what I did? I bought 2 cans of regular corn niblets instead of 1 can of cream corn. So I am missing a big ingredient, and that is the creaminess that I'm missing. Can't just put in 2 cans of corn. It's just going to be all corn. So I'm like, oh, great. I'm like, what do we do? You put butter and sour cream in this as well. So I'm like, should we put in more sour cream? Like, what should we do? So Joe's like, whoa, let me look in the cabinet. Brings out a can of cream of broccoli soup. He goes, well, this is what we need, right? We need the creamy part. And I'm like, all right, let's give it a go. So we put about half the can of cream of broccoli soup in. And then I gave a disclaimer when we announced that it was time to eat. I told everybody what had happened. I said, I was remiss in my shopping this week and didn't get my cream corn. So we improvised with a can of cream of broccoli soup. So I don't know how it's going to turn out. I have to tell you, it wasn't bad. It wasn't as good as the regular cornbread casserole, but it wasn't too bad. The broccoli brought a little something to it. So I was pretty happy with the end result. See, this is what this is what it's great to have, like a real cook around, because they know how to improvise. I was just going to put in more sour cream. He's like, no, we're missing like the creamy part. We got to put some creamy in. I'm like, all right, worked. It worked. So we had a ton of food. People brought tortellini salad. We had spinach salad. We had regular salad. What else did we have? Like I said, the mac and cheese, and then desserts galore. We had cake, and we had black and white cookies, and we had lots of adult beverages, and it was a good time. We love doing this, and we love our neighbors. We always get a little bit more people every year. This year, we welcomed Joe and Cheryl, who are across the lagoon, across the street, still on Mars Boulevard. So technically, we have people right across the lagoon on Mars Boulevard. So they are neighbors as well. We love Joe and Cheryl. And Cheryl brought me a little gift. I'm not sure if you saw it on the Hopefulist page yesterday. Cheryl used to be a kindergarten teacher, and she is very crafty, very good with the crafts. Her and I have worked on a project before together. She is very good at painting and creating things. I not so much. I can write. I cannot draw. I can't paint. I can't trace. I can't do any of that stuff. So I had gone over to her house one day to do like a little, kind of like a little palette of my own. Like I had been going to all these palette parties or whatever. And I had this idea for something that I really wanted to do. And she said, just come over. I have like a bunch of stuff that we can, pick out that you can paint on. And so I had started it. And then I hadn't really gone back because I was like, I wasn't really happy with the way it was going because, like I said, I'm not that artistic. I'm not that crafty. But she actually at some point finished it for me and brought it over. And it looks fantastic. It is hanging on my wall. I am looking at it right now. So she's very good with the crafts and stuff. And she painted these clamshells for me that say The Hopefulist and then inspiration and positivity. I love them. Love them so much. And I was thinking about maybe mounting them on some sort of board or something so I can hang them on the wall. I don't know. I get a little worried about mounting something like that they're going to just pop off. But we'll see. I'll figure something out. But, yeah, they're great. If you haven't had a chance to see them, they were posted on the Hopefulist page yesterday. I love them so, so much. And they came just in the nick of time. I've been feeling a little down. My numbers seem a little down. I don't know what's going on. I'm feeling a little lost, feeling a little hopeless. Yeah, I know. So this is just the kind of support I needed to kind of get me going again. Not that I was giving up. No, I was not giving up. But I've been a little downhearted. And then I was at my cousin's over the weekend who will be going to see Oprah with me. And he left me an envelope that I assume drew that has my logo on it. And it's like he might be a good tracer or something. I'm not sure because it's like my logo to a T. That also in the picture that I posted. So when I was feeling a lot of Hopefulist love. So thank you. I so needed this love and the support to kind of pep me up and keep me on task, keep me on my path. Like I said, I was by no means thinking of giving up, but I was a little down. So it's pumped me back up. I do appreciate that. And it was great to have Cheryl and Joe here, which is what I was discussing to begin with before I started rambling as usual. At least you should be used to that by now, right? Yeah, I'm a rambler. I got rambling ways. So I think that the barbecue was a big success once again this year. So we love having our neighbors over because we have the best neighbors ever. I wanted to get to just a little bit of news. Prepare yourself. Apparently there was an attack on oil facilities in Saudi Arabia. That is where we get a lot of our oil. Globally, that's where a lot of oil comes from. We, as the United States, produce a lot of oil as well. But whenever something like this happens, it spikes the oil prices, which in turn means that you will have to dig a little deeper in your pocket for gas, because gas probably will be going up in just the next few days. So prepare yourself for that. Plan accordingly. We actually have a road trip coming up in the next couple of weeks. Doesn't matter. We're going to have to pay regardless. That is the way it's going to go. But I just wanted to mention that if you need to take some, precautions or plan a little bit better, I think there's going to be a huge jump, probably about 10 to 15 cents, I think they were saying initially. But, hopefully if everything calms down, it will stay, won't go much higher than that, and then it'll kind of hopefully settle back down, all depending on what happens there. So we got to keep an eye on that, and I will keep an eye on it because we all know how much gas prices affect our daily budget. Yes. We've got to pay for gas. We need gas, that's for sure. So what else am I talking about today? I think that might be it for news and catching you up on what's happening in my life. So I will go on to the topic, which got me thinking. Friday, we had just one day of like cooler weather. A couple of weeks before that, we had for a little while a couple of cool days, but then it shot back up, and we were seeing the hot weather, the humidity again. So, to me, there really is nothing like your fall wardrobe. It's just the best time for style and fashion. And there's so many things you can do in the fall. You can layer things, and the boots. Oh, man, I love me some boots. I don't get to dress up very much anymore because, like I said, I work from home now. So I'm in my jammies, and that's okay. So it's been a while since I've gone like fall wardrobe shopping. They're a little pricey, these clothes and these boots, I gotta tell you. But I have some stuff from the past, and if I just lose 5 pounds, I'll fit in them again. That's it. That's all I need to lose, like 5 pounds. So I wanted to know from you, are you longing to wear your fall wardrobe? Because that's always been my issue. I love summer more than anything. I don't mind fall. In fact, I enjoy fall. It's the signal of winter that kind of freaks me out. So I have to stop worrying about winter coming. Winter's not for another 3 months. So we're just going to enjoy fall right now. The leaves are starting to turn. I went by Pemberton Lake this last weekend, and the leaves are already starting to turn. So keep an eye on that. I love the smell of the crisp autumn morning with the dried leaves all around you. There's a lot to be loving about fall. Football. So since it is still somewhat hot for most of the country right now, are you longing for your fall wardrobe? Do you want to wear your sweatshirts and your sweaters and your boots, your cool jeans? So I asked you, and Marcy said, I wouldn't say longing, but I do miss my boots. Girls love their boots, man. And it is nice in the cooler weather to not have to worry